Hi, I'm David from the Notarize mortgage team, and today we're going to show you a fully digital closing on Notarize. I'll be playing myself for the signer here, David Berner, and I will show you a closing on Notarize where every single document is electronic, and we'll communicate with a remote notary who's going to walk us through the notarization process and closing process. On my screen here, you'll see a transaction. All of our transactions on Notarize start with an email to the signer. I've been approached by my title agent, Netta, here, who's initiated the transaction. And you'll see I have documents that I need to review and sign before the end of today, April 10th. We also support an activation feature. If your documents are ready in advance of the closing date, they can be sent out to your signer in a review-only format, and that way they can review the documents at their own time, on their own pace, and get their questions answered by the right people before settlement. This is also our expiration feature as well, that I need to sign these documents that are dated for Wednesday, April 10th by the end of today, April 10th. As I scroll down the email here, you'll see some information from Notarize for me as the consumer to let me know what to expect when I close on the platform here. I'll have the opportunity to review every single document in my closing package. I'll also be able to connect with my team if I have questions for my loan officer or title agent. And we also have a batch signing feature, which will allow me to apply all the designations to a single document with just one click of a button here. Below that, you'll see contact information for both Notarize's support team, which is available 24 hours via phone, chat, or email, and also my loan officer's information if I have questions for Courtney about the terms of my mortgage agreement. But I'll go ahead and begin the process here by clicking review and sign. Since this is the first time I'm using this account, I'll establish a password. And then I'm taken into a landing page here where we have a video going showing the consumers what to expect on the Notarize platform. Below that, you'll see 3 panels here that show I have a closing online today, April 10th. I'll have the opportunity to actually review and sign one of my documents before I join the audio video session with the notary. And then my last step, of course, is to meet with an online notary to complete my closing here with Notarize. So I'll go ahead and click Get Started here to move to the document review portion of our product here. I'll have a panel pop up here that welcomes me to the platform and states that I have to close with the notary here before the end of today, 11:59 p.m. If there was a co-signer on my mortgage here, their information would appear here as well. When I click next, you'll see that I've got 3 documents in my total closing package here. One that I'll have the opportunity to sign ahead in the session here before I join the notary, and 2 that I will sign in the meeting with my notary. When I click start signing, I can begin the document review portion of the process. Just to orient you with a couple things that you're seeing here on the screen. In the top left-hand corner, you'll see we have a call out to our support team if they have questions for Notarize, and also a chat feature that goes to us as well here in the bottom right-hand corner. Across the left here, you'll see the Notarize Connect contact information. We've established just one person here, our loan officer, Courtney. Notarize can support up to 5 contact names for Notarize Connect. To the top right here, we've got milestones going across the screen here to show the consumer where they're at in the process before they complete everything with the Notary Public over live video. I'll also have the opportunity to review all of the documents in my closing package, and I can jump from page to page. So let's say I had a question here about my Virginia deed of trust. I'll disregard this for now and come back and sign that later. But let's also say I had a question about the bottom of page 3. I can jump directly to page 3 of my deed of trust. And you can also see here that that's where my initial tag will be placed when I sign that deed of trust. But try as I might, I can't actually execute it before I'm in the meeting with the notary. I'll go back to the e-consent form, which is how all of our signings on Notarize begin. And when I scroll down here, you'll see both a signature flag and a date flag for me as the signer here. When I click the date, it'll automatically apply. And when I click my signature here, you'll see we had a pre-populated signature aesthetic here for us. But below that, in order to actually create a signature on the Notarize platform, I have to agree to this legal language here that says, in short, that my electronic signature on Notarize will be just as binding as my pen and ink signature. So I'll go ahead and hit agree and create. And you'll see in the top right-hand corner here, I've completed all of the requirements of the sign-ahead session, which was the signature and the date there. So I can still review these documents. Of course, if I have a question about my deed of trust, I'm able to do that, but I just can't sign everything just yet. Once I hit complete, our system will do a technology check. So it's very quickly checked to make sure my camera and audio are working on my device that I'm using to sign. And as you see the bar fill up here, it's actually testing my internet connection. When that turns green, that certifies that we have a strong enough connection for a remote online closing here. So you'll see my next step here is to verify my identity here on Notarize. And as you can see here, right, in the panel right here, we only use the last 4 digits of the social security number to confirm the identity for the next portion, which is knowledge-based authentication questions. So when I hit get started, I have 2 minutes as the signer to complete these questions. I need to get 4 out of 5 of these questions correct in order to move on to the next part of the identity verification. These questions are generated using databases like LexisNexis based on the borrower's unique experiences. I also want to point out that we're using a demo environment here today, so we're not going to mark the correct answer in our live production environment. And success. I've successfully passed those challenge questions here. So my next step here as the signer is to actually capture an image of my credential, which will do credential analysis on this particular ID. Now, you'll see we support a couple different types of identity documents here: a driver's license, passport, permanent resident. We also support military IDs as well. Notarize also supports secondary IDs as well. So if 2 IDs were required for this transaction, we'd be able to do that. I'm going to keep it simple here and just keep 1. So I'll select a driver's license, but I'm actually going to use my business card today. How you doing? Good to see you. So I'm going to actually hold up that business card here for you and capture an image of that. And so we'll also require that the back of the driver's license is captured in our environment here when we're doing the credential analysis. So in the background, what our software is doing is forensic analysis on this credential. Of course, this is a business card, not a driver's license, but in our live production environment, what we're doing is checking for things like microdots. We're checking the font of the actual ID. We're making sure using technology that this is a real legitimate ID. In a live production environment, if I do not pass this credential analysis step, I would be unable to proceed to the next step. So when I hit confirm and continue, I'll be prompted that my next step here is to join a live video call here with the notary. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Let's Get Started button. So you'll see me here on the screen again. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Good, thanks, David. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. So before I turn it over to Ryan, I just want to orient you with what you're seeing here on the screen. So in the top left-hand corner, of course, you can see myself as the signer and also Ryan as my notary. I can see all of Ryan's notarial information, including the state that he is a commissioned notary in, as well as his ID number. Below that, you'll see my own name here, and then also the fact that we've already completed one of the 3 documents in this closing package here. And also here at the top right-hand corner, you'll see that I've got 2 of 10 actions completed here. One of the best parts about the Notarize platform is that it eliminates missed signatures. We're not able to finish this session until that we've actually completed all of those signatures. So all that being said, I'll turn it over to Ryan, and he'll walk us through the closing.
Great. Thanks so much, David. And welcome everyone to Notarize. So normally the meeting would start with hello, obviously Mr. Berner in this case, and welcome to Notarize. My name is Ryan McGinnis, and I'm a commissioned electronic notary in the Commonwealth of Virginia. I'm required to inform you, David, that our audio and video session will be recorded. Sound good?
Yep.
Great. So obviously I'm not a commissioned notary, but I'll be playing one for today's demo. So at this point in the meeting, the notary would inspect the signer ID. If there are multiple signers, multiple IDs, make sure they are, in fact, who they say they are. We would get all of the information back on the passing the knowledge-based authentication and how well the ID came back, that it is a legit ID. And then so we'll ask 3 questions that need to be answered on the record. So David, are you participating in today's notarization freely and without coercion?
I am.
Do you consent to engaging in an electronic transaction today and using your electronic signature as your binding signature on these documents?
I do.
And if any time during the process you don't understand the contents of the document you're about to sign, just let me know so that we can contact the lender or the title agency for clarification. Does that sound good?
That sounds great, Ryan. Just immediately here, it looks like it says my interest rate on the screen is 3.875, but I thought it was 4%. Are you, as the notary, able to answer that question for me?
I'm not actually able to answer any questions related to the documents that are being signed today, but you can contact whomever you'd like, in this case, the loan officer, and they might be able to help you.
Okay, great. So let me use the Notarize Connect feature. And as you can see, my loan officer's information is already filled here. So I'll click this button and she'll join us via audio.
Hi there, this is Courtney.
Hey, Courtney, this is David Berner here. I had a quick question about my interest rate for you. I'm actually signing my closing disclosure right now. I thought my interest rate was 4%, but it looks like it says 3.875%. Is that correct?
3.875 is correct.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
No problem. Hope you have a wonderful day.
You too. Thanks. Okay, Ryan, I'm comfortable. We can go ahead and proceed.
Okay, great. So the notary has full control of the document. I can guide and take the signer down to where they need to sign, and I will apply a pointer here for David so that he knows where he needs to sign.
Okay, and just like when we did the sign ahead function on that e-consent, I need to create a signature here. So doing that from scratch, I have two options. I can either do a text-based signature, or I can write my handwritten signature on a piece of paper and hold it up to the webcam. I'll do the text-based signature because it's just a little bit faster. I'll select this option. And once again, I do have to agree to the language here below that you see, which says that this signature is going to be just as binding as a pen and ink signature would be. And I only need to do that once during the process here. And I'll also apply the date next to that.
Okay, wonderful. And so we're going to go ahead and lock this document. The reason why we do this is so for whatever reason we get disconnected, or if something happens on David's end, we can pick right back up to where we need to be to finish the meeting. So we'll go ahead and we'll head over to the next document. It looks like it is a deed of trust. And just like before, I will go ahead and add the pointer here for David to initial in this first section.
Perfect. And I think this is a great document to show off our batch signing feature, because this Virginia deed of trust requires an initial at the bottom of every single page. You'll see the banner across the top of the screen here. When I hit acknowledge and sign, I'm prompted in the same fashion that I was to actually create initials, just like I did here with my signature. I'll do text-based and then agree. And you'll see here right when I hit create and apply, the action counter is going to move all the way up to 10 of 10 actions completed there. And as I scroll down to the bottom of the document, we'll do the most exciting part of any demo here, right, Ryan?
That's right. This is my favorite part as well. So I'll go ahead and I will apply my notary seal. So after applying my seal, I'm going ahead right here and I will apply my signature. So afterwards, I will lock this document and I will complete the meeting, and the meeting will end with David. Thanks so much for using Notarize, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Ryan. Really appreciate it. So Ryan's going to go ahead and complete the session here for us. And what you can also see here is the fact that we actually have a system where we can rate our notary's performance here. So I'll give Ryan full marks, 5 stars, and go ahead and hit submit here. And as the signer, as soon as the transaction's completed, I'm able to download all of the documents in my closing package immediately. Also, the lender and the title agent associated with the transaction can do so immediately as well. Really appreciate your time taking a look at our demo here. If you have any questions, make sure to contact us directly here at Notarize. Hope you have a great one.